Man, oh man, how quickly can people be to forget that you had an MVP candidate going into this game against the Rams, and that MVP candidate didn't show up. It was a rough game for Sam Darnold, but here we are to talk about why the Seattle Seahawks are getting good news after a difficult loss, which, by the way, the season, everything is still in front of you, all right? So just relax. Everything will be totally fine, all right? And I think what people need to realize and what people just need to relax about is that this is still a very good team. You still have another game, a home game against the Rams. And the rest of your schedule is not that daunting. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at that. We're going to do an injury update for you on Gray Zabel, who you desperately want to have available for you, especially seeing what Sam Darnold did under pressure. Here's what we're not going to do. We are not going to define Sam Darnold by one bad game. Sam Darnold had bad games sprinkled in throughout last year when he led a Minnesota Vikings teams to 14-3. All right? He didn't do bad. He continued to bounce back. And Sam Darnold has been that guy all year. He has not been bad for you guys. He has played very, very well. So let's not go and stick a fork in him, all right? Not just yet. All right? It is one game against a very good defense that had a very good scheme drawn up against him. So let's talk about what some of the teammates had to say, because if you don't want to just listen to me on it, go ahead. Now, I'm not going to show this quote because this is a family-friendly show. Now, if you are new to this show, a couple of things for you. My name's Craig. Me and my buddy Chris started this channel a few years back. We are Detroit Lions fans, but we love talking about teams that the national media tends to ignore, that the national media tends to forget about, and those are the smaller market teams. We did that because we have a passion for that as Lions fans. We always felt like our team was ignored. And you have to have a 15-2 season in order not to be, and then it was quickly turned against us. And so with that being said, I think every NFL fan base feels this to an extent, but we want to talk about those things that the national media isn't. So the national media is talking about Sam Darnold's collapse. Let's talk about what's going on in the locker room behind his collapse. All right? This was Ernest Jones. He said, Sam's been balling. This is what he said. All right? Not crying. All right? Like balling out. If we want to try and define Sam by this game, Sam has had us in every game. So for him to sit there and say, that's my fault. No, it's not. There was plays that defensively we could have made, opportunities where we could have gotten better stops. It's football, man. He's our quarterback. We've got his back. And if you've got anything to say about it, quite frankly, there's the extreme expletive. All right? Abraham Lucas, it wasn't just the defense that came to his side. I can show you this quote, all right? I can show you this quote. Unfortunately, there's 100 ads that are going at the same time. All right, he said, listen, I will defend Sam as my teammate and my quarterback, the offensive lineman said. Stats can say whatever they want. Not everybody is going to have a perfect game all the time. Sometimes things happen. He's a phenomenal quarterback, and it's impressive that he doesn't let mistakes get to him. I think people can take lessons from him. He's been balling. He's been lights out, and I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward. Okay, can we just talk about something for a second that I think has something to play in this? Yes, he just got more weapons. Rashid Shaheed is a new weapon, right? Can we talk about the fact that it takes time to get used to those things? The NFL is so fast. Your reads are boom, 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 and you're on the third read already. Like, it has to be so fast. You have 2.5 seconds to throw that ball most of the time. 2.5 seconds. And you have that amount of time to make a decision. So many of us think that we can play armchair quarterback. So many of us think that we play NCAA football or we play Madden, and all of a sudden, like, we know what it's like to be an NFL quarterback, the time, the pressure, what it takes. Look, that's not the way it is. All right, a tip ball here, a misread there. You were baited by a defense in this situation, and all of a sudden, you can be looking down the barrel of a multiple turnover game without even knowing how you got there. And that's what happened to Sam Darnold in this one. And no, I'm not saying the trade for Rashid Shaheed caused the turnovers. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is anytime you introduce a foreign object into a well-oiled machine, into an engine, it could run a little rough for a second. And I think to an extent, this will be addition. This will make the offense better. But at the same time, we need to acknowledge that it has changed things. They have to get to know each other. Him and Jackson Smith and Jigba have remarkable chemistry. I don't think for a second Sam Darnold wonders what Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to do, and I don't think JSN questions for a second where Sam Darnold's going to put the ball. He has that with Shaheed, though. And you have to remember, it is still his first year with this team. Some of these things are still being learned. So now the question is, yes, the Rams came with a great defensive blueprint for other teams to use. Will other teams use it, and will the Seahawks under Kubiak adjust? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. I am all in the camp of, yes, they will. All right, and I'm going to get to the Zabel injury here in a second, but then I look at the schedule. All right, wow, thank you. The doctor could not have prescribed a better medicine than the Tennessee Titans. Then you have the Minnesota Vikings, who are a blitz-happy team, his old team. They're coming to town, and J.J. McCarthy has been atrocious. The Atlanta Falcons, off a tough loss, they may have just lost Penix for the year to a knee injury. We're finding more out about that. Then you get to see another team where it's like, is this real? Is this quarterback real over there in Indy? And then you get back to L.A. There is a very plausible world where you have won every game of the next 4 games and you have improved to 11-3 going in to play the Rams. It's 100% possibility. And then you travel to Carolina and to San Francisco. Everything is still in front of you. Winning this division is still in front of you. It's all there. All right, we need to talk about Gray Zabel. Mike McDonald talked a little bit about this after the game, really didn't give much of a report. Well, guess what? On Seattle Sports, he gave an update on Monday. Thank goodness. All right, this was yesterday. And he said, Coach Mike McDonald says, on guard Gray Zabel's knee injury, I'll say it's optimistic right now. Initial news is really positive, but let's get out of the fog here. All right? Gray Zabel has actually been very good. I think a lot of us wondered, what is this going to look like with Gray Zabel? What is this going to look like? Because, he's coming out of whatever it's called, right? He's coming out of North Dakota State or something, and it's just like, all right, how quickly is he going to adjust to the speed of the NFL game? He's adjusted, and he's become a very key component in the center of this offensive line. So to get good news on him, that doesn't mean he's going to be back next week, but you're hoping that this is what you try to avoid in the NFL. You can't avoid injuries. What you hope to avoid is long-term injuries at the time in which your team needs the players most, and that means playoff time. And so if you have a team that's talented enough to get to the playoff, be moderately healthy in the playoffs, and you got a chance. That's when you have a shot. That's what you're hoping for. All right, hope you enjoy this and more Seahawks content. Hit that subscribe button if you want more of this. Just do it. We'd love to have you. We're really close to 40,000 subs, so we'd love to get over that. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.